Hello there, and welcome to the Windkiller channel once again. I've been AFK for a while, but I think it's time for another battle report. So we are back with the latest battle report here, and today we'll have my second match of the Fading Online Tournament, Fading Flame. My first game was against the Great Unclean One, where we had a sounding victory with I think the total score ended up being 19-1. So we were in the current lead of my league here, and so we're heading into the second game here as the number one seed of this tournament or this league here. My today's opponent is DV. First time I met this guy here, and he played the Åsklanders, which was also the first time I played against these. Um, so I had to look up and go through a book here yesterday and see what these guys was capable of doing, and I must say I kind of not sure I fell in love with them, but I like them, but I certainly think they look very strong. Not very good at shooting, right, and certainly weak against shooting. But against when I was thinking about how was I gonna beat him, I had a very hard time of coming up with a sound solution because there was so many things in his army that would do so well against my units, right? I mean, if we just take a quick look at my army here, I mean, I talked about it last time as well, so it's just really quick overlook here, but it's the two tower saws, and it's a big unit of Tego warriors and a big unit of Tego guards, and then they have these 9 raptor riders with the Tego and Ritter in them. So these were the units that I had that's capable of fighting, right? On the other hand, he has a dark mage on a wizard, dark chariot, with a 3+ armor save, and the Tamatur, whatever you call it, the meteor spell on a chariot, resilience 5, armor 3, magic Aegis safe against magical against flaming attacks versus my alchemy mates and my forbidden mastery. I couldn't touch this guy from any range. I mean, like 10 gorilla skinks. What are they gonna do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So this guy here was basically untouchable, right? Then he had a Åsklanders chief and an Åsklanders chief, both on a war daisy, with just decently fighters, not terribly frightening, right? They're good fighters, but they're both 1+ reroll, 1+ armor, and 1 with rerolls. It's I mean, like, there were way to get through it. I mean, I had the Caimans with the clay wizard, so I could do Awaken of the Beast combined with Tego guards. That's AP4. I mean, that's definitely chewable. I mean, you can get through that. The Tower Saw was 26. There are like weapons, and the veteran has AP4 as well. So the armor was not that much of a problem, and rarely is. But the problem was that he had raiders, longship raiders. He had 18 of them coming in from behind. What am I gonna do against these guys here, right? No clue how am I gonna handle great weapon, throwing weapons. These throwing weapons are gonna kill, what, on average, I think like 5 or 6 of my Tego warriors or Tego guards per turn, and I have to turn one of my big blocks around to fight them, or maybe I have to turn around my pterosaur to fight them. It's very difficult to turn one of these guys. It's a very heavy army. I'm playing with big blocks, and it's very difficult to maneuver if you want to face the other way and the other way, or you want to face back and forth. It's almost impossible. It's not impossible, but it's very difficult. So that was one of the first big threats I concluded he had. And then he had 37 Åsklanders, right? And I mean, what do I have? He's what, 4 plus against shooting. He's 4 plus armor, and I have a bit mastery. What is that gonna do? And then I have alchemy. What am I gonna hit him with? Molten copper. I'm gonna do what? Four, 3 wounds on him per shot. So I really wasn't sure how to deal with this 37 great weapon motherfuckers here with the Raven banner as well. They were just gonna, anything they touched they would just plow down, right? That was the second threat. And then he has 14 horsemen very quickly with the rending banner, strength 5, and with the with this Åsklanders chief in there with the black stallion, paired weapon, symbol of slaughter, which gave him, I think, it only gives him like 2 extra attacks, and he's 2 plus agility. So this guy wasn't particularly good against me. He was only strength 5. The rest of the unit is also only strength 5 with light bow, with light lances, and only armor 3. So they're not that strong, but they move in 8. So they were able to match my 9 Raptoritors, right? So I would say this army is very strong, but the unit that shines the most usually when I play them is my 9 Raptoritors, because they're so good. Because the Tego Guards and these 3 blocks here, the Tego Warriors, the Tego Guards, and the Skink Warriors, they kind of like stall the game, and then the Raptoritors just kind of swoops in where they see fit. And here he has a really nice counter with 14 Åsklanders horsemen, and with a semi-good chieftain, right? So maybe I could win the charge. Maybe I could win if I get the charge. But if he gets the charge, he's agility 4. He's probably gonna kill a lot of my knights before I even get to strike back on him. So I thought it wasn't that that unit was so really good, but it's just that it suited really well into his plan of disrupting my strongest unit. And then you would think like, okay, now we've seen enough threats, and I'm having enough to deal with, but we're not done yet, right? Then it brings 2 times 5 walks. I mean, like, the Vanguard moved 9 to just move right to my flank, right? And what I'm gonna do with them, I can't answer them properly. I can maybe turn the Taurosaur looking at them. It's gonna be dicey, and he's gonna get the charts. He's gonna get some temperature spells on, maybe minus resilience, maybe plus armor on himself. What do I know? I mean, these guys was really difficult to stop for me with my Taurosaurs, right? And I mean, like, if he charges straight on the Taurosaur, that will still give him what is it? 8, 12, 15, 18 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 5s, potentially on 4s. They will probably kill my Taurosaur if they charge them, right? But but it was sort of the best weapon I could find in this list was to use my giant bow, because it deals D3 wounds. Maybe I had a good way of taking the walks down that way, because I mean they only lead us with 6. The Vanguards, they try to flank, so they might be outside of the general's bubble, and then they only have leadership 6. So my best shot was probably to try and force a leadership chest on them. That was the idea. And then he had the Jutton, or whatever the big giant elephant is called, which I mean it's resilience 7 wounds. It's really tanky. I did have some tools to deal with it. I mean, the alchemy with the quicksilver, my Tego veteran with the glory of the Dawn Age, and I mean Tego guards could also potentially deal with it. So it wasn't hard to deal with, but it was the among of other things I also had to deal with at the same time, worrying about this Yutong. So overall, before going into the match here, I was gonna be happy if I scored 8 points. Or when I started, I didn't know the objective, right? And I was happy. I was aiming for a draw, and I would be happy if I lost by 1 or 2 points. But then I saw the objective as well. Capture the flags. Ooh, not a chance, right? I mean, how am I gonna? I have what, 5, 6 scoring units with Caymans, 4 Caymans, 30 skinks. I mean, like it's just a buffet for him to take all the and 9 Raptor Riders, right? He can take. There's so many flags in my army compared to his what. He has the 37 Åsklanders. How am I gonna get through those guys? The 4 horsemen, the 14 horsemen, and the 18 Åsklanders was my aim. If I could take these two guys down, and I could sincerely protect my own units very well, then maybe I could get a draw out of the objective, right? Maybe. I mean, it shouldn't take much effort for him to try and get at least just 2 units of these guys here, right? So coming into this matchup here, I have to say I was quite the challenge, quite the battle, and yeah, I like the Åsklanders. It was a very strong army, I feel. But anyway, let's jump into it. So we are playing, as mentioned, Capture the Flag with Refuse Flanks, I think it's called, where you can only deploy on. There's 1/3 of your deployment zone you can deploy in. And so the idea was that I picked a lot of as many magic missiles, not as many as magic missiles. I picked Quicksilver last to deal with the Juan, and to deal with his. Maybe if I could get in reach, I could also use my Quicksilver last on potentially his riders, or it wasn't a good spell, but it was my best tool to deal with the Johan. And I really didn't have any other tools to deal with it. It's like really good tools. I mean, I had poisons and stuff, but it was a really good tool. So I picked it. Obviously, I picked the heritage spells. I picked the Word of Iron, because even though he's great weapon all over the fucking line, ruining all my tough resilience 4 guys on 2+, I still had the Word of Iron, which could give me some relief from his very hard hitting guys. So I picked that one as well, and I obviously had the regeneration and awaken the beast. And what else did I go with? I think I went with the silver spike, just the alchemy spell where you do 1d3. I was thinking maybe I would use to shoot the walk to try and trigger these panic tests, and then I went with the Paraclystic Flow and the Cascading Flame again, just to spam as much fire on these walks as much as possible. To if I could deal with the walks, then just maybe I would have a chance, right? Because then I could maybe set up some chaff, or sacrifice some units to stop his Åsklanders before he reaches me, and then maybe I could take out some of his other small units. Take out some of his scoring units, so I could try and win the objective. And he obviously has the terminology, and obviously he picks the Comer and some buff spells. His magic wasn't that good. So the deployment looks something like this. Right, so just to clarify what the models here. This is his unit of Åsklanders, the big unit with great weapon, and he hasn't deployed all of his units yet here on this picture here. But I think the next picture jumps right into the next turn, so let me just go through this one here. And he's gonna deploying another unit of walks here, and march forward with them, right, with Vanguard. He plays the Yor here to make a threat, and prepares his knights to. I started deploying actually, and I just deployed everything. decided I wanted to have my Raptor Riders go around the flank here, using the skink here potentially if something were to respond to this advancement from my Raptor Riders, for example these knights, then I would just put up some skinks instead to be steadfast and cast regeneration on them and have parry, so I would hopefully be able to hold them for some time and then maybe be able to do a flank attack with my Caymans, because it's kind of narrow flank right here, so he's not able to put that many big things through the corridor here. So if I thought if I strengthened this flank here, then maybe I would be able to advance from here, and then I could stall as much as possible here. And I was quite happy and a little bit surprised to see my opponent put his, because I placed all my units, and he put his Åsklanders all the way in the opposite corner. And I mean, I'm pretty sure these Åsklanders would just have been here and just been like here, and not care about anything. Get charged by 22 Tego guards and double tower assault. We do not care. We can kill him anyway. That's I think that would have been better. Anyway, so this is my Tego guards. This is my Saurian warriors. This is tower assault, and Raptor Riders, Caymans, skinks, right? So I take the first turn here, and I just advance. As mentioned, I'm planning on trying to. Oh, he placed some wolves over here as well to chaff me off, to slow down this process, right? And he moves, as mentioned, down the flank here. And my first turn here, that was not. I'm pretty sure I also move forward with these guys here. Let's see here. If we just wind forward here. Yeah. So this is how I end my turn. And I make a big mistake here. Whether or not it's a mistake, I don't know, but it was not intention. It was not my intention. So I wanted to shoot at these guys. I wanted to shoot at his walk, but he's moving 9, right? So when I can shoot, he has a 9-inch charge. So this is it's not good for me, and I don't enjoy it. But I wanted to shoot him, and I think it's best to shoot him. So I moved up to 18 inches. I'll to shoot him with my 4-shot of giant bows, and I moved within 24 inches of these guys here, so I could, and also 24 inches with this guy here, so I had to move him to the first rank. So potentially, if this big guy here charges here, maybe, and he would overrun here, then I couldn't find a way to get my Archmages out of here. So it was a little bit risky, but I thought I wanted to take the chance, because I thought I needed to slim these guys down as quick as possible if I was gonna have a chance in this game here. So my magic phase obviously goes completely horrible, and I do 1 wound to I get a quicksilver lash through, and do 1 wound to his Johan here, and 1 wound to myself, and that's it, right? I'm not even sure I did a wound. Yeah, I get the quicksilver lash and I do 0 wound to him, and my skink, my gorillas, my chameleon skinks, they shoot 1 wound off him. So this is the current situation, right? And as I mentioned, I made a mistake here. So if we just zoom in here, like, beautiful guy here. So here is it, like so. This is the place here where he was here, and he was in the forest, right? And I thought I placed my skink gorilla so he couldn't move. There was not enough space for him to move through here, but there was just enough space so he could get a flank chaff up on my Raptor Riders, hold him for a turn potentially, chaff off these guys here, and move in for the frontal attack with these guys right here. So I was thinking, boom, 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 and I cannot make way because he charges me in the flank, right? And he has fear. Big chance me losing. I have at least this possibility I lose the combat. This is a big mistake. Yeah, a big mistake. So what happens is, yes, his turn here. It's his turn, right? And so as you can see here, we calculate the combat here, and for some reason I managed to do 2 wounds with my, or 3 wounds I think it might even been, yeah. No, 2 wounds with my Raptoritis. I do 4 attacks with the Raptoritis, and I rolled 3 sixes, and and they do have AP 2, so he only 6 saves, right? And I managed to get off 2 wounds on him. So now, and he did 1 wound I think, plus the flank and charge a bigger flank, so I end up losing by 1. Not steadfast. I clear my panic check. I clear my my discipline check, and I also managed to reform. And so now I might have a chance to. And there was another trick here. It actually turned out pretty well, this one here. So the idea was, if I reformed here and I put myself in one long row here, he wouldn't be able to charge here because he couldn't get into the flank. I was thinking about that, but I concluded it was not worth it, so I just turned him around in 2 ranks. So this was his turn 2. He gets the comment down. He gets a comment. No, I dispelled the comment this round, I think. If I'm not entirely, yeah. He doesn't get the comment here. So this is my turn 2. And I charge the chaff here. So the idea here is that I kill the chaff with these guys here. My skink unit moves up here, threatening this guy here to have to charge me. If I don't overrun too long, I will flee. If I overrun too long, I will have to hold. And then maybe if I win this Johorn combat here, which I think I will, because I have my Tego warrior veteran can now fight. He's doing multiply wounds, wounding on 4s, hitting on 2s. He definitely had a decent chance to take down this big moment guy here. Then I could reform and maybe charge in alone with that guy, right? Single-handed, or charge in with the unit. So that was the plan here. Because I was thinking about maybe I could charge with the Caimans here and use them as chaff because they're cheaper, right? But then I concluded if he fled from the Caimans, then they run this way here, and they will run over here. But if I charge with the skinks here, then he would flee. If he chooses to flee, he would need a 9 to get on the other side of this way here. So if he rolled anything below a 9, he would just block himself, right? He would chaff himself off here, and I would be pretty happy about being able to stall the right side here. So I decided to go with the skinks and pray that I wouldn't run down the wolves here, and hopefully be able to generate like 2 turns of chaff here. First from his own wolf, and then from my skinks, and then potentially maybe even flank around here. So the flanks, one of my threats I identified in the beginning of the game was that these horsemen could threaten my Raptorites with their long charge, and I think with the current plan I have here, I'm kind of neutralizing it. So I was pretty happy about this right side flank at the moment. And my turn 2 here, as you can see, I'm 9-5, and I tried to shoot this guy here again, and I'm pretty sure I tried to shoot with my bows again here, and everything just fails. I just can't do wounds to these guys here. I do, however, manage to get these guys fleeing with my skinks here, and I send them out here. I kill like 4 of them, and they run here and they die to dangerous terrain. So I do get the chaff off the map here, right? Yeah, as you can see here. But I try again to shoot these wargs, and I just don't know what to do with these guys here. Yeah, so I do get I also get I get regeneration off here. So I mean, when I overrun, I'll probably kill these guys, right? And Leadership 5, so they probably run. or run. I mean, if I still have regeneration, I could probably be. I would. I would most likely be able to hold a turn, and then I managed to kill the big elephant with my Tego warrior Ritter. I think he dealt like 6 wounds to it in total. So I could reform and look this way here, or I could reform and look this way here and advance. I was not really sure what to do. I think in the end I go with looking this way here, so I could. So if the skink unit here got charged, they lost combat, started running, I could do a counter charge. So I think that's what I want to end up with. And also because I was, and then I turned these Cayman warriors around, cause I was to try and stop his Åsklanders from ambushing me from this big beautiful back hole I made myself, where he would just pop up and he would just be able to do flying attacks here. Ooh, that was beautiful. So I turned these guys around, and I wanted to have these guys as well. To look this way here, so he couldn't put them here to help with support his horsemen over here. I wasn't too afraid if he pushed them here. Obviously he could just keep on shooting my skink, my Saurian Tego guards, Tego warriors, and he would probably kill them, and I would still have a real hard time getting to them, right? So he's turn 2, is it? Yeah, he's turn 2. What happens? Yeah. Okay, so he charges. Let's see here. That's his magic as well here. So this is after his magic phase. So he charges with his walks here. He needs a 9. He gets it. I think he actually also tried to charge on his turn 1, or was it? And then he failed charged. And then on turn 2 he charges, and this is sort of lined up in a way that he cannot get a flank charge on my Taurosaur. So if he managed to get this guy running, then he cannot do a new charge, because this will be, he cannot get into the flank here, because he cannot wheel around these guys here. So he would only be able to reform these guys here, and then I would be able to charge them. At least that's how we play it. And then he gets these Huskers on the flank here, and looking at it, I started to feel like these Tego warriors here, they are gonna be hurting. My Taurosaur here in the middle here, he's probably gonna, maybe he hold. If he gets magic through, if he gets to lower my resilience, then this Taurosaur is probably gone. So I really wanted to stop that. I really didn't want him lowering my resilience, because if he doesn't lower my resilience, then he does 18 attacks, hitting on 3s, so that's 12 hits. Then he wounding on 5s, so that's 4 wounds, and then a saving on 5s, so it should be like something like 3 something wounds, right? And then I maybe do maybe I do 2 wounds back to him. So then I would only be losing by maybe 2, between 1 and 3. And with the BSB here, leadership 5, rerollable, it was possible for me to stay, right? It wasn't unlikely. So I really wanted to stop him from getting lowering my resilience, right? Because if he lowers my resilience, I'm just gonna be dead meat, right? So I have to let the meter through, the comment through, right? I can't stop it because I wanted to make sure. So I think I saved 3 dices towards his 2 dices, or 4 dices. I saved what I thought would be enough dices to stop his spell, of the resilience spell, and I fail it miserably, and I get -1 resilience here, and I mean, like, so this unit here is probably looking like it's about to die. This unit here is in a real tough situation, right? I mean, like, how am I gonna deal with this one? The only way I can see it at the moment here is that my Tego guards turn around and look at them and start shooting missiles. Maybe these guys advance, but they're like 1, 2, 3 turns away. Um, Chameleon skinks, yeah, not gonna do the trick. So I really wasn't sure how to deal with these guys. Yeah, I mean, like it look. Honestly, I think it looks a little bit I mean, he has charge here. He could also get through here. I could fail panic check here. Oh, doesn't look very good, does it? So he's turned 3 here. Go something like that, and I'm decently lucky here, right? Let's see here. Yeah, so this is the end of this is his turn, right? So the combat here goes that he kills some skinks, but I stay happy about that. I think I still have like I do decently. I save terribly on my regeneration save, but I was okay with that because as long as I could do good next round when this guy going to join, then maybe things would be better, right? And here, I think I do like some wounds to him, and he do like 4 wounds to me, right? Because he gets the resilience spell through, and he also has the meteor, right? And I'm lucky though. I stay here, so that I had that going for me. And he shoots the Taker Warriors here, and he kills like 6 guys. And not that pleasant, right? So he's turn 3, right? No, my turn 3. So my turn 3 here after magic. So I move the chameleon skinks here out of the way to try and start chaffing off on these Åsklanders here. Try and shoot them nice and slowly. If I could maybe kill some of the guys before he reaches combat, then maybe I could deal with the unit, right? So I move them down out of vision, try and shoot them a little bit, and potentially when it becomes needed, chaff them, use them as chaff to buy me another turn. I charge with the Taker Warrior, my Taker Veteran here. I do end up deciding to go here for this move here and try and at some point stop him here, right? But yeah, it's not particularly nice. But I do find a sort of way out here because I can get a flank charge here with both my Taurosaur and my Saurian Taker Guards. So I can at least, if I manage to, I'm probably gonna manage to break this unit right now because I'm gonna have impact hits and all. And then I will probably maybe be able to be here and then maybe try and reorganize something, right? That was at least like the way out of this, because if I was staying down here, I would just get shot. Oh, now I'm not in a step fast, right? In the river here, which I totally forgot about. So when he thought the time would be right, he could just charge me. So I had to get out of here, right? So I'm charging through the water terrain here, and I lose like 5 Saurian warriors from it. And one of my Taurosaur is down to 2 wounds, right? And he has this time the meteor is likely to go through. I mean, what happens if I lose this combat up here as well? Then he can get the free Frank here. I might lose my Pterosaur here, right? These guys here is really pressured. Even if I break him, if I don't run too long, then maybe these guys here is gonna come in the flank. What are these guys gonna do? Maybe if these guys flee, right, then they're gonna get a flank charge here. So I got that going for me. But overall, I think it looks a little bit dire for me. So my turn 3 here, I do get my heretic spells up, boosted version of these guys here, so that's good. That should stop quite a few wounds, right? And I do believe I also get Word of Iron off of this guy here in my magic phase, and that's also nice. The meteor pops down, and I think it does some damage. It didn't do too much damage, right? It killed like 6. It did 6 wounds to the Caimans and 3 wounds to the Taker Guards, I think, and that was kind of it. So this is after the combat phase, right? Or at least we're in the beginning of the combat phase here. And I managed to break these guys. I managed to break his walks, and I overrun over here. So I get out of range of these guys here. So I'm gonna get charged by these guys here, right? Which obviously isn't good, but probably the best I could salvage out of this situation here. So this is how it looks after my turn 3. So I do really well in this combat up here. Not really well. My Tego Veteran smashes through his chieftain. He does like 5 wounds, and after his chieftain is dead, now his chieftain tried to hit me as well. So he tries to kill me before I can kill him. He fails. He only does 1 wound. So I do manage to win that combat. So now I think like I killed the Jutland, I killed the horseman. So now I'm starting to have building up a flank here, right? With my Tego Veteran, my Saurian warriors here, and I'm advancing with these Tego warriors here. So I'm starting to see like I could maybe create like a crater here, like a last stand, sort of a last stand here, and try and kill some of these Åsklanders before he reaches me. But definitely very exciting game here. I think I'm in the lead at the moment here. I actually have taken quite a few points, like 1200 points versus. He managed to kill my Taurusar, right? So he killed the Taurusar now. So I think I killed like 600 more points than he has. But I mean now my Tego Veteran here, he's alone. So there's a hand of heaven that could potentially kill him. I have to stop the meteor. The Rags Riders here are looking maybe a charge here, maybe a charge here. These guys could maybe charge here. I mean, or they could just move forward and shoot me or whatever they like. I mean, I'm still feeling I'm being ambushed a lot. So he's turn 3, right? What happens in his turn 3? So yes, he does get the charge off here, and as mentioned, he moves his chariots into position to shoot the Hand of God here. He charges the Taurusar here. Hopefully he breaks it to run down here, to get out of line of sight here, to prepare, right? Then he will have his walks here. They will turn around, prepare for the flank charge here while these guys advances, and this chariot here will keep those in check. And my response to that will obviously be right, prepare these guys, my Saurian warriors here, for flank charge, chaff them off for 1 turn, turn the Raptor Riders around here to try and deal with these guys here, advance with these guys here to deal with these guys as well. But there is one even better trick here. If I succeeded with it, things would be really nice, right? And I think my opponent didn't see it actually, because he charged here, right? And so if I manage to hold, there's a lot of if here. If I manage to hold, and I could, and he didn't reform up here to give this unit here a front charge, then I could charge this unit here in the flank. And if I win that combat, still having my Taurusar, then I could make him flee this way here, and have my Taurusar hit this unit here. And if I could stop this unit here, then I feel like I could build a new front line here, and then we could like go back to how to say what square zero from the game, right? And when he just have one big unit here that's trying to kill me, right? So and I think, let me see how it goes. So it's his turn right here. He do get some spells off. Yes, he gets the meteor, right? He gets the meteor off right here, and that's it. And then I stay. I think he does like 1 wound to me only, and I do like 2 wounds to him, and I manage to. I think I have to clear a leadership test on 6, and I manage it. I lose by 2, I think, and so now, and he doesn't reform, so now I have the chance to do what I just said. I have a chance to move out here, However, it wasn't without threats, right? It wasn't without danger. So the best I could reel around was all the way up here, right, with my Tego guards, and I this was the best way I could chaff him off, right? So if he was gonna reel here and charge my skink gorilla, he was gonna be here, and then he was gonna be overrunning like this, right? And so I needed to roll at least a 6 to get out of the flank from this unit here with my Tego guards. So that was pretty worrying, right? So but I thought it was worth it, because then I could get this my Pterosaur into this unit here, being able to deal with it, and then maybe if I did get my Tego guards out of charge range from these Åsklanders, then I could turn them around, prepare this unit here for the counter charge, prepare this unit here, and hopefully when my Taurus also took out these Åsklanders, then these guys could also prepare for the charge on their Åsklanders in the end, right? So I think I actually had a good plan here, a strategy, or whatever you call it, overall strategy here for what I wanted to do. So my turn 4 here, I managed to get through, right? I get some boss spells up on my Pterosaur here, and I managed to send them out running, and my my Pterosaur here, they managed to run 9, so they're safe for now, right? And now I think I feel like yeah, maybe we're talking, right? And I think these skink gorillas, they managed to shoot like 3 or 4 wounds off of the Åsklanders, so now they're down to like what, 27 or something like that. And I still have 22 Tego guards here, right? So yeah, we're moving into. I think I'm starting definitely becoming the clear favorite of this game here. But he still has the meteor, right? I think he needed 12 to hit these guys. He's also hitting these guys almost. So there's still panic check here, and my BSB is outside of range here. There is still the fact that these guys have to take at least a 1 charge from the Åsklanders before they can receive backups. I mean, this guy, the Huskers, still have great weapons, can still potentially do some damage to my Pterosaur. So there are still some elements here, right, where I know, yeah, I've got he managed to shoot my my Tego veteran with his Hand of Heaven. He kills it. He does 2 wounds to it, and I lose my Tego veteran here. I was yeah. So he's turn 4, is it? Yeah, I think he's turn 4. He do charges here, right? He moves a little bit away with his chariot, dark chariot, to potentially prepare for the charge. He move out of range from the skinks here, and move out of range from the Saurian warriors. I think the skinks need a 9 to catch him, and the Saurian warriors need an 11. And he obviously charges the skinks to take care of them. And then my turn. No, and then in his combat phase, he does 4 wounds to my Pterosaur. So it only has 2 wounds left, right? I do manage to break him in combat. I think he loses by 5 or 7 or something like that. Auto flees off the table. I reform. I take a look at this unit here, and I'm preparing for the last stand, right? So I move up these guys. I try and charge here to hit his dark chariot here. I move up these guys here to prepare for when if he want to charge here. I move so I can prepare a flank charge. These guys prepare flank charge as well, and then the frontal charge from this one here, and these guys here, right? So we're definitely preparing attacks to hit him, but I'm not entirely convinced, even if I do hit him with all this, that I kill him, because these guys are pretty killers. So I think to try and stop that, I'm pretty sure I get Word of Iron on these guys here, and I maybe even get my heretic spells on these guys. Let me see here. So my turn 5. Yeah, my turn 5. I do get the heretic spells off on him, and I do get Word of Iron. So now, I mean, like, yeah, and he's kind of like it's his last turn, so he do like a chance with his dark chariot here in the flank of my Saurian warriors. I don't think it's a very good chance, but it was like the game in the current state is gonna be a pretty big win for me. I think we calculated at this time, and I think it was like a 7-3 score to me at the moment. And if you manage to take down the Tego veteran, Tego guards, and the Saurian warriors, and my Anorak, then I think it was like a 12-8 or something. So he does do the charge here, right? But he only hits me on fives now, right? And he wounding me on threes, and his chief Asgard chieftains, they only hitting me. One of them I have lightning reflexes, but magical weapons, right? So now he gets -2 to wound. So he only wounds me on fives, and overall I feel like okay, and I have 2+ save, right? Okay, I'm safe now. This should be okay. And then he just go crazy. It's just insane how well he rolled here, right? It's just crazy. So as you can see here, I do manage to stay, but he killed like 13 Tego guards with doubled up buff on them. It was just crazy. I do also manage to roll decently well, so I also takes down some of his Viking guys here. And as you can see here, this is my turn 6. I landed last charge here, and I just need to kill 9 of these Åsklanders, do a challenge with one of my guys here to stop him from getting too much combat resolution, and then if I kill the 9 Åsklanders, then he's probably gonna be losing too much combat resolution. He will be running, right? And that is exactly what happens. I do get regeneration up to save it. I think he killed like 4 or 5, and that's the end of the match, right? So he loses. I think he loses with. I don't have more pictures. I also managed to get a rare charge off on this here one here. So I killed this one here. Killed his mate here. He runs up with this unit here, where I kill all the Åsklanders. He managed to. He somehow managed to get away from these 3 units here. I think I roll. My highest roll was a 7 or something on the overrun pursue, and he rolled a 9, so he survived with his BSB and his Lord. And then they rally at his last turn. So overall, I end up killing all of his units except from the Lord and the BSB, and he only takes. Let me see here. So I managed to take 3,700 points from him, and he takes 1,450 points from me, which is what I think is. He took the Tego veteran, one of my Taurosaurs, and some skinks, and a half a unit of my Tego veterans, right? My Tego guards. So it overall a very comforting victory, which I did not think would happen, honestly. I think I was in a looking at the matchup, I thought I would be in much bigger trouble than I ended up being. So I'm very happy about the result, to be honest. And looking back at it, I'm thinking maybe I should have picked the other list, but I was afraid because he also had another list, which was a Stannis list, Storlis or whatever they call them, the old empire, with a big bus of knights, and my other list doesn't have alchemy in it, so I don't have that many great tools against these the big bus of knights. So I was afraid he was gonna pick that army, but I think my other army would have been better against his Åsklanders, because I had this trigger pack here, which I think do good into great weapon and infantry with no good armor save, and double up on Caimans with chaffs, and the Cayman Master here with 8 attacks, right? The Cayman Master here going into the, if he could find a way to hit the Åsklanders, then I think he would also do good. And even with the Druidism, right? I think overall there were some interesting things like this list had to offer, but yeah, I ended up going with this list here. And so the end result here is me taking the second victory in the Fading Flame here. Quite nicely leading the group here. Still only all the others still only have played one game, but I mean overall 2 games, 8,200 victory points, 38 battle points. Honestly, very satisfying. I'm very happy about the results, and I'm reading a lot about on the just to go off topic here. I'm reading some of the I'm trying to join some discussions going on the 9/8 forum here, and I have to say that so a lot to give they give this new army a lot of slack. At least some of the participant on the forum does, and I don't think they deserve half as much slack as they get at the moment. I think it's a really strong new army here. They have a lot of new nice tools, and same goes for the performance. Actually, I have for a little bit of promotion here. I have my the next game of the Cripple Ribble coming up on Tuesday, which I hopefully also will be able to do a report about, and it's quite exciting because there is actually a possibility that we're gonna win it. We're currently 32 points after 2 games, and I'm gonna be playing the number 3 Vesser. So if and the closest opponent after the Vesser guy here is the Toby Tobins. And even if you do get 20 points, I just need to secure 70 points, and then I am the game. I will win the tournament. Obviously, that's just not gonna be that easy, but exciting. On Tuesday, we're gonna be playing the game. Look forward to it. Little teaser here. You can see his list here. He's playing Sylvan Elves here. A lot of hard-hitting guys with Tree Fathers, Dragon, and Forest Prince, and all kind of great things here. I'm looking forward to try it out, and what's even better is that I think I have a strong list against it. I have the double giant bow here to take down these great eagles. I have flaming banners. I have alchemy to kill the Tree Fathers. I have multiply wounds on my takeaway runs here. Yeah, good stuff. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you will follow Tuesday's game as well. Bye bye.